the context first. This is what you need to know. Overnight, word has come of an El Salvadorian who killed a 2-year-old American citizen in Maryland, and there's another report of a illegal alien in Louisiana who raped a child and stabbed someone. If you will recall, Katie Porter, who is the progressive from California, was on CNN yesterday talking about Laken Riley and said this.
I think when a horrible tragedy like this happens, I think whenever we're dealing with violent crime, there is a sense of outrage, of sadness, and of loss. But I think the important thing to focus on is any one instance shouldn't shape our overall immigration policy.
Any one instance shouldn't shape our overall immigration policy, she says. And now a fifth suspect has been arrested in the tragic murder of a 2-year-old in Prince George County, Maryland. It is Nielsen Trejo Granados. He's been charged with first and second degree murder. He is an illegal alien who came into the country. And then there's this out of Louisiana. A 19-year-old Honduran man has been arrested in Kenner, Louisiana, following a series of violent crimes. They say the investigation began Tuesday, February 20th, when the police were notified of the rape of a 14-year-old girl at knife point. Angel Marius Castellanos Aureliana was identified as the suspect. He also is accused of stabbing people. He's been booked on armed robbery, aggravated battery, first-degree rape, and aggravated assault. He, too, is an illegal alien. So, Katie Porter, we got one in Louisiana, we got one in Maryland, we got one in Georgia, and that's just this week. Well, in Athens, Georgia, they're screaming that they're not a sanctuary city. Here's what you need to know. This is very important. This comes from Houston Gaines, a member of the state legislature in Georgia, who notes that they, in fact, in Georgia, in Athens, decided to pass a resolution in 2019 stating, quote, all people, including those without documentation, should feel welcome and comfortable interacting with local law enforcement, their local government, and all services provided as such, and that undocumented neighbors, especially those of Latinx, notice the white people on the council and the progressives went with Latinx heritage, face daily fears and threats from individuals and institutions such as ICE. Concurrently, the elected district attorney there, Deborah Gonzalez, said on her first day in office, she would, quote, take into account collateral consequences to undocumented defendants. Now, here's what you need to know about Athens-Clarke County, Georgia. In Georgia, there is a law that prohibits sanctuary cities and counties. Notwithstanding that, Athens-Clarke County has gone as far as they can to become a sanctuary city, declaring themselves as such several years ago, even against state law. So here's what the policy is. If an illegal alien is arrested and placed in jail, their current policy stipulates that if a detainer is issued, that is a notice from ICE to detain the individual, but it's not accompanied by a federal warrant or a court order signed by a federal magistrate or federal judge, they shall not be held solely on the ICE detainer. And if the warrant is issued, they'll be released after 48 hours if federal agents haven't picked them up. Essentially, the way Athens-Clarke County has decided to get around being not being allowed to be a sanctuary city is with this law enforcement mechanism that when an illegal alien is arrested and placed in jail, if the feds don't send a warrant along with the detainer. So if an illegal alien is arrested and put in jail, ICE generates a detainer saying, please hold this illegal alien. If someone doesn't go through the trouble of also going to a federal judge and getting an arrest warrant, Athens-Clarke County, Georgia lets the person out of jail, even though they know they're an illegal alien. That's how they get around the sanctuary city law. So when the mayor says we're not a sanctuary city, technically they're not because of state law, but in practice they are because of the policies of the local government in Athens-Clarke County, knowingly making it more difficult for the federal government to detain an illegal alien who's been in jail. It's a policy choice in Athens-Clarke County, Georgia, to do that. So the mayor had a press conference, and, well, I'll let you listen to some of this.
In the main, I caution against conflating immigration and crime. The data demonstrates that the two are not connected.
Okay, can I just say, just as a matter of interest here, do you really want to lecture people about immigration and crime when an illegal alien has just murdered a girl? Actually, immigration and crime aren't related, so I wish you people would stop, you bad people, as opposed to you people in government who have made it really hard for the federal government to come in and remove the illegal aliens like the one who just murdered the girl.
Because the impact of federal immigration policy on localities has been under such consistent discussion in recent months, I do want to say a few words about this. It's my 18th year as a local government policymaker, and my work has overlapped with 4 U.S. presidencies and numerous iterations of Congress. All of them have failed to reach agreement on how to handle immigration.
Okay, so you're going to scapegoat the federal government when you, the local government that impacts people's lives more locally, more directly than the President of the United States, you locally made policy choices to aid and abet illegal aliens. You people locally did that, not the president, Mayor. Not the Congress, Mayor. You people in Athens-Clarke County locally did that. Well, the crowd there didn't let him get away with it.
That term means different things to different people depending on the context of the discussion.
We know what it means.
Many of the elements.
Liar.
Many of the elements.
Liar.
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 We are here to listen.
Liar.
You're a liar.
We are here to listen.
Liar.
There'll be time for questions.
You are guilty and got blood on your head.
All right. Dude says he's here to listen and he wants to lecture the rest of us on illegal immigration. It's not related to crime. I've been here for 18 years. Everybody else has failed. How can you blame us? What a disaster of a press conference. Well, it's not just him. On the Athens-Clarke County government is this Jim. Jesse, what's his name? He's the district commissioner. Y'all, this really, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. You will think that I'm making this up. His name is Jesse Houle, Houle. On his Twitter page, Commissioner District 6, and he has they, them pronouns, love each other, and abolish prison. And he tweeted, Jesse did, none of us know all the facts yet regarding Ms. Riley's tragic death. He tweeted this, by the way, at 2:26 p.m. yesterday, after we've known the facts of her death. None of us know all the facts yet regarding Ms. Riley's tragic death, assuming the alleged perpetrator is the murderer. So we don't know all the facts yet, but you're already going with she was murdered. And I certainly hope the police have arrested the correct person. He is an individual and not a representative of everyone with whom he shares an identity. Let me read you the bio for this spectacularly unaccomplished member of the Athens-Clarke County Unified Government. Jesse grew up in New England, moving through dozens of places around central and western Massachusetts. Oh, he's a Yankee. We should stop right there. Transplanted down to Athens, Georgia. To make ends meet, Jesse worked multiple jobs in the service industry before deciding to focus primarily on their work as a touring musician and recording artist. In 2008, they moved to Athens. To put down new roots somewhere warmer and more affordable, Jesse continued juggling multiple jobs until settling into an administrative position at FedEx Ground, enabling them a new period of financial stability. In 2011, Jesse became deeply involved in Occupy Athens, a local outgrowth of the Occupy Wall Street movement. Through their involvement, they developed as a community organizer and have remained active in politics and community organizing ever since. Now, I'm going to skip the rest of this marvelous bio and get to this Jim. Jesse endeavors to bring their authentic self to governance with curiosity, humility, diligence, and compassion. Jesse is non-binary, identifies as queer, and uses they, them pronouns. Jesse eats a plant-based diet complemented by abundant hot sauce and coffee. They love games, geography, language, art, music, hiking, camping, humans, and non-human animals. They've traveled extensively in all 48 of the contiguous United States, including most major cities and national parks, and have spent a month or more in each of the 7 foreign countries. Their personal best for the New York Times spelling bee game is Queen Bee 12 days in a row. You go, Jesse, go! Jesse swore their oaths of office on the following: The Places That Scare You by Pima Chodron, Off the Map by Kika and Hib, Slapstick by Kurt Vonnegut, Demand Everything, Lessons in Transformative Organizing by Steve Williams, their 2020 issue platform, East of Eden by John Steinbeck, and Being Peace by Thich Nhat Hanh. In 2022, they welcomed into the world their first child, River Quinn, alongside their spouse, Megan, and partner, Aaron. Punchline at the end, he's in a throuple. Yes. This is one of the commissioners on the Athens-Clarke County Commission who doesn't want us to jump to conclusions. And this individual, if he's the right individual, if the evil police did their job, he's just an individual and we shouldn't judge. Remarkably, we have this entirety of this governing body. And by the way, there are some good people on the Athens-Clarke County government. You should know that. There are some. But overwhelmingly, this county is progressive, and they're giving the county the government they chose to give them. A government that wants to have the mayor, after a murder, stand up and lecture people. I've been on a government for 18 years, and Washington can't get this right. How do you expect me locally to get it right? We're not a sanctuary city. The law says we're not a sanctuary city. Pay no attention to how we actually dispatch illegal aliens to make it hard for the federal government to get them. When you have people like this in charge, of course, you're going to wind up in the situation we're in. You got one dude in a throuple who uses they pronouns. And by the way, I just want to say this about this Jesse Houle person who from Massachusetts who was with Occupy Athens and hasn't really had much of a real job. There are distinguished members of the Athens-Clarke County government. You should know this. There are some distinguished members of the Athens-Clarke County government. In fact, in the Athens-Clarke County government, you have 10 districts plus the mayor. If you were to go to the Athens-Clarke County website, you would find some spectacularly accomplished people. Whether I like them or not, whether I agree with them personally or not on their politics, have some spectacularly accomplished people. Every last one of them has a super short bio. One of them, for example, John Culpepper, District 7 in Athens-Clarke County. You can tell he's very comfortable in his own skin. Probably has the shortest bio on the entire website of Athens-Clarke County government. Literally, owner, founder of local staffing business, active in numerous business and civic organizations, including the Salvation Army, graduate of the University of Georgia, member of First United Methodist Church, and avid Georgia Bulldogs fan. That's it. That's the bio. The most unaccomplished member of the Athens-Clarke County government is the District 6 guy who has the longest biography of all of them. Why? Because, of course, the guy who lives in a throuple and uses they, them pronouns and identifies as queer is a self-obsessed narcissist, as are most of those sorts of people. They are self-absorbed narcissists, and you must learn everything you can about them, including his score in the New York Times spelling bee, because, of course, that's relevant. And to them, you know what's not relevant? They have a dead college student on their hands. And instead of actually treating it seriously and making it harder for illegal immigrants to murder, they want to lecture you that you're bigots and you should think about your own life choices, and you leave the government to them because some of them have been there for 18 years. And if Congress can't get it right, why the hell should you expect them to get it right? Who cares there's a dead college student? We got to treat the Latinx community that's illegal aliens here A-OK and let them out of jail before the feds round them up. But don't call us a sanctuary city. Athens-Clarke County, there are elections for these people this year. You can hold them accountable. But I suspect maybe there aren't enough people there who really actually want to clean up this mess. Some of you might like it, and that's really depressing to think about.